Live.
We're live.
Can you see?
I can see you.
Alright, it's Chris, Homestead in the hallway. And before we even start this video, if you're a bunny hugger, whatever ails you, we're going to be talking about killing a hog. We're going to show you a dead hog. If you don't want to see it, go find you something else to watch. Because if you mouthy about it, I'm just going to delete you. Now we got all that drama out of the way. This is the final installment, I guess, on the Piney Woods Rooters. I've still got 3 of them left, but I don't know if I mentioned it in the last video. They've been racing to 50 pounds. First one to 50 pounds won a 22 short and a trip on the grill for Saturday. Show them the little pig cooker. It might show up.
Yes, you can see it.
Now, we're in eastern North Carolina where we have vinegar-based sauce on whole hog barbecue. And I know a lot of our viewers are in North Carolina, and I cut the head and the feet off this pig. And I know that ain't exactly skippy, but it's kind of a small grill. And none of my crowd really likes the head on them, so I cut it. But we're going to show you the pig, and we'll talk a little bit about the pig, some pig stuff, and a little bit about cleaning the pig. So she'll come over here. Now, I don't know how good that's showing up.
Real good, as long as you're over there.
But the things I want to talk about was, one, this is one of those really sorry looking pigs. This is one of the ones that came out and did okay. And liver and lungs look good. We should have done a video on everything. If you'll see right here, we got a little layer of fat on her. She came out and was doing pretty good. She won't grow. Now, she weighed 50 pounds now. She weighed about probably 15 when we got her. And we've had her about 35 days. So that was doing okay, but not good enough for me to try to top her out. The other thing I want to talk to you about is using the Propane Torch to scald a pig. I wish I'd known about this my whole life. I don't think I saw it on YouTube. I think somebody told me about it. But it's a regular old Propane Torch. And I wish we'd done a video showing you. But cleaning a pig is kind of we need to get it done right now kind of thing. And we didn't even think about it. Didn't think about it till the pig was hanging up out at the barn. And there was no light. And we tried to do a video and said, well, we got to take her and put her in the refrigerator anyway. But you take this Propane Torch after you shoot the pig in a sticker. You have to stick a pig. You have to cut the jugular so they'll bleed out. So you shoot them and stick them. That's how that works. Now, there are people that stab them in the heart. They come up from under their neck and go into the heart. I've never had I just rather cut their throat. And there are people that just jam them up in a corner and cut their throat, and I think that's inhumane, and it's actually illegal in North Carolina. So they have to be stunned here before you stick them. Bleed them, whatever you want to call it. But you take this torch and run over one time and burn the hair off. Just don't move it too fast. Just kind of hold it in one spot and burn the hair off. Kind of go over the whole pig and burn the hair off. Then you can come back and you hold the torch until you see the skin start drawing up. You'll see it start drawing up. And take a good sharp butcher knife and scraper, and the top layer of skin will come off just like you were scalding her. Just like you put her in hot water. Without all the mess. Oh, it works better. It's just better. Especially on a small pig. And I didn't know about it. I had never seen it done. We used to singe them. You would burn some hair off in places that you just couldn't get to scrape. And we have shaved them with a straight razor when you get really hard to deal with places. And there's such a thing as called setting the hair. That's when you got the water too hot and you scald them and you set the hair. But maybe, kill 2 birds with 1 stone. We wanted to show you that the carcass on this pig was pretty good. But she was the best one in there. The rest of them, we'll do a video if we do anything with them and show you what the carcass looks like on those. But her liver, lungs and everything look clean. We didn't see any parasites. Pig did smile. We just throw the liver and stuff away anyway. But she had come around, and it had been the withdrawal. We had to run them on a course of antibiotics, and we wormed them. The withdrawal time on the wormer was 30 days, I think, or 28 days, and the withdrawal time on the antibiotic was 19 to 20 days. So we gave her a little bit of, extra time, and we're going to cook her Saturday, because I just don't see the point topping them out. Maybe that's the other thing we'll talk about is, I don't know how many times I've tried to tell people, if you get a sorry pig, you can spend 10 times the amount in feed. I mean, you'll end up with some really, really expensive pork. If they won't turn 2.5 pounds of feed, 3 pounds of feed into a pound of pork, you're going to have a little bit more in them than you want to have in them. And maybe that'll help you a little bit. I don't know if YouTube will even put this up. We don't know what the rules are. But we're going to try it. And maybe it'll help you a little bit. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. And I will say something. There's something I want to say. Not really a rant, but I had something happen the other day that really bothered me. And I did it, and it really bothered me. Somebody left a very nice, very polite comment. I mean, I feel like they were serious and genuine on one of our videos that said they had been thinking about raising pigs. But then after watching us, and they were talking about just one thing I've realized I do that I don't mean to do. I say raising pigs when I should say growing pigs. There's a big difference between growing pigs, between getting a couple of feeder pigs and growing them out, and that's the right terminology for that, is growing out pigs. I say raising pigs a whole lot when I mean growing out pigs, and I need to watch that. And I understand it's confusing to some people. It's never crossed my mind, but it is a thing. But she said that she considered growing some pigs, but after watching us, she decided it would be too much trouble. And that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to discourage anybody from raising or growing pigs. I just want to make sure you know the truth and don't believe the fairy tale. And if you'll go through the comments on our videos, you'll hear a lot of comments from people that have already tried everything else. They've tried the fairy tale and found out that where the truth was really at. And they're very vocal about it, and they say a lot in the comments about it. But I don't discourage anybody from trying to do anything we do. I just want you to know what you're actually up against. Like raising cows. We did a lot of videos talking about the cows just didn't work for us. And cows don't work small scale. Cows do not work small scale. If you keep one dairy cow, you need to understand that it's going to be a losing proposition. And something else I see a whole lot of is people talk about that they have animals that they lose. It's where all their money goes. All their money goes into their livestock. If you've got livestock and it's a dead loss, you're not doing it right. Livestock is supposed to be the money maker on the farm. It's supposed to be the cash crop. If you're dead losing money on your goats or your cows or your hogs, you're probably not doing something like you should. And that's the other thing we try to tell people and try to convince people of. Stuff like one sow and one boar doesn't work financially. Now, if you can start, once you get some pigs to sell, you can get some cash flow. And with agriculture, cash flow is as good as profit. If you can get some cash flow where at least you're breaking even, especially in a homestead situation, if you're breaking even on a homestead, you're doing great. I mean, that's kind of where you want to be. If you can make a little money every once in a while on your stereotypical, we're trying to feed ourselves homestead, that's great. Just be tickled to death if you're breaking even. If you can find something there's a market for that you can raise or grow and can make a little profit, go for it. But I think a lot of people think once you get to that point, say if you find out you can really sell cut flowers, so you start planting a half-acre of cut flowers to sell, well then all of a sudden you're not a homestead anymore, you're a commercial farm. That's a bad way of thinking. A homesteader is a term that means so many different things to many people. To a commercial farmer, it's almost a derogatory statement. To me, when I started all this stuff, I mean, we grew up. I've lived subsistence agriculture my whole life. We grew most everything you ate. But my daddy was a small farmer. I'm a small farmer. The word homesteader to me always made me think that John Wayne was going to have to save you from the rancher upstream to cut your water off. I mean, we were doing what everybody calls homesteading, but we didn't call it by that name. We called it subsistence agriculture, small family farm, whatever. And that's the way it's always been here. We've never known anything different. All this stuff people talk about homesteading like it's new, like it's a new idea. And we've been doing it 300 years. Don't let terminology bog you down. And don't be discouraged to do anything. You can do anything you see anybody else do as long as they're telling you the truth about what they're doing. Now, we see that a whole lot. I see people really discouraged because they can't do something they saw in a YouTube video when it didn't work in the first place. Whoever was doing it was just telling you it worked to get you to watch the video. And then something I had to learn, there's a lot of things that'll work in some places, but just won't work for us. We can't really sell produce because we don't have a market. The market is 2 hours away. If you live somewhere everybody's got chickens, you're not going to make selling eggs work. I don't care if you got eggs that are 10 times better than theirs. If everybody's grandmama has eggs that are given away, you're not going to make selling eggs work. If everybody's got a garden where you're at, you're not going to sell produce at a little stand side the road and sell any. Now, when your kids are little, we did find out that when the kids are little, people will buy from them because they like to support children. But once they get old enough, people quit buying. We saw that. That's the actual thing. But I just hate that I discourage somebody. That really bothers me. That's not what I meant to do. And they were nice about it. And I've had several people tell me that you might have saved them a lot of trouble. That if somebody realizes how much work is really in something and doesn't do it, that's just as good as encouraging them to do it. If somebody that doesn't really want to do it stops. And that's true. I can see that. And that's kind of maybe some of what we've been doing, is trying to tell you that if you're not willing to put the work in, don't start it. I can see that too. And that's true, that people need to know what's actually involved. But I just hate to discourage people. We try to be as encouraging as possible. And I want to see everybody do it that wants to do it. And I like to see people succeed. I'm not the kind of person that likes to see people fail or gets excited when other people fail at anything. I think everybody can win, and I want to see everybody win. And I respect hard work, and if anybody's willing to put the work in, if all you need is a little knowledge or help, I'm more than glad to help you. And that's why we do all this. We monetized the channel a couple of years ago because they were putting ads on everything. Not because we thought it was going to make any money, and it hasn't, not to speak of. And there's some benefits. We've had some viewers like the Hammer Mill. We've had some people that we've made some really good friends that have done some things for us. We had the Hammer Mill brought to us, a few other things. I've met a lot of hog breeders that saw my videos and emailed me, and we found places we can get other stock and found other people doing the same things we're doing. Made a lot of friends in other states. We set up a lot of hog farms. I don't know where the count is at now for setting up other hog farms, but it's at least 30 or 40 people that we've set up in the business. They bought breeding stock from us, come over here, saw what we were doing, and copied it. And that's a good feeling. It's nice to help people. But if you have any questions about these pigs, just leave it in the comments or email me, depending on what it is. And I'm glad to help you if I can. But y'all know my health's getting bad, getting where I can't do a whole lot. We're not putting up videos like we should be because a lot of times I can't talk. I don't have enough wind to talk. So they're going to be kind of hit and miss. That's the problem with the lives, is a lot of times I just can't do it. I hate it. And I know everybody looks forward to them, but I'm not in the shape to do them. Friday's a busy day and it's easy for me to overdo it. But anyway, I just want to thank all the viewers we have and Tell you how much we do appreciate the support, and tell you that we're trying to help you. I mean, that's the only reason we do this stuff, is try to help you. And don't believe everything you hear, and I believe you can do it. I want to be as encouraging as possible. And I appreciate you watching, and y'all have a good one.